It is 5:14. Two people who used to work in the home of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla are now suing the couple.
Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan just made headlines with an announcement no one saw coming. For years, their marriage seemed unshakable, built on love, success, and a shared mission to change the world. But now Priscilla has revealed something that changes everything people thought they knew about their perfect life. Could their bond be facing challenges even billions of dollars can't fix? Tune in to uncover the shocking truth behind the story that made Facebook's stock hit the lowest price in its history. A marriage tested by tech obsessions. The news gets even murkier when you learn that two former employees of Zuckerberg and Chan are suing them. The lawsuits, combined with Priscilla's shocking comments, make it clear something isn't right. They've been together for over 21 years, a long time for any couple, let alone one living in the high-pressure world of tech and wealth. While Zuckerberg continues to dominate headlines with his innovations and business moves, it seems his personal life isn't as polished. As they celebrate their latest anniversary with extravagant gestures, these efforts might actually reveal more trouble than love. Before we delve into this, it's clear that the truth behind their marriage is far more complicated than it seems. And this won't be the only revelation that will shock you. Take their recent anniversary as an example. Pulling out all the stops to impress Priscilla, he recorded a cover of a nostalgic song from their Harvard days, even roping in hip-hop star T-Pain to collaborate. The gesture was over the top, funny and endearing for some, but also a little desperate for others. Fans gushed over the effort, but skeptics pointed out how unusual it was for someone as reserved as him. Was it really just about celebrating love, or was there something else going on? He didn't stop there. In August, a 7-foot Roman-inspired statue of Priscilla was unveiled, crafted in her honor. The statue's flowing metallic design and green tones sparked a mix of awe and confusion online. Some called it romantic, while others wondered if it was a cry for attention or even a sign of guilt. Psychologists have weighed in, suggesting that such lavish gifts can sometimes hint at deeper issues in a relationship. Extravagance might seem sweet on the surface, but it can also be a way to cover up underlying problems. Priscilla's recent revelations add fuel to the fire. She shared that his obsession with virtual reality projects has started affecting their home life. He reportedly spends up to 14 hours a day in the metaverse, wearing his Oculus headset to the point of confusion. Once, after removing the headset, he asked her if she was his human wife or his flesh spouse, as if his real life was blending with his virtual world. Priscilla also revealed that he accidentally called their son Digital Spawn and asked him to prove he had legs. These strange incidents have understandably frustrated Priscilla. She's admitted that his tech obsession has strained their relationship. As if things couldn't get worse, he reportedly attempted an inappropriate act with one of his VR devices, resulting in an accident that left him injured. These bizarre behaviors are not just embarrassing, but also raise serious concerns about his priorities and state of mind. Priscilla has remained mostly silent in the media, but her occasional comments paint a picture of a marriage under immense strain. Their relationship wasn't always this complicated. The couple met in 2003 at a Harvard fraternity party while waiting in line for the bathroom, a humble beginning for a pair now worth billions. Back then, he was already making waves with his ideas, while Priscilla was a hardworking student with dreams of becoming a doctor. They've since built a life filled with philanthropy, raising 2 daughters and committing to give away most of their fortune. But it seems the pressures of wealth and his relentless drive for innovation have taken a toll. Social media has been both a blessing and a curse for their image. Posts showcasing lavish gifts and happy family moments create an illusion of perfection. But as anyone familiar with the social media knows, appearances can be deceiving. Behind closed doors, the reality is often far more complicated. Priscilla's recent remarks reveal a deep frustration with the imbalance in their marriage, an imbalance that no amount of expensive gifts can fix. Observers can't help but wonder if his public displays of affection are genuine or calculated. Are the gifts meant to show love, or are they a way to distract from the growing problems at home? Priscilla's silence on many issues leaves room for speculation, and the lawsuits from former employees only add to the drama. The legal battles raise questions about the environment inside their household and whether the couple's public image matches their private reality. In many ways, his behavior reflects the classic tech billionaire stereotype. Brilliant and innovative, but out of touch with normal life. His dedication to the metaverse might be groundbreaking, but it's also isolating him from his family. Priscilla's patience seems to be wearing thin, and who could blame her? Living with someone so consumed by work and technology would be challenging for anyone. Their early love story showed hope and ambition, but building their life together brought struggles they never expected. From Harvard beginnings to billionaire woes. The couple's future remains uncertain. Will they find a way to balance their personal and professional lives? Or will the pressures of their unique world prove too much? For now, Priscilla's comments and his actions suggest that they're at a crossroads. As the world watches, one thing is clear. Even billionaires aren't immune to the challenges of marriage. Whether their love can withstand the strain remains to be seen, but the stakes are high for both their family and their carefully curated public image. Back in the early days, Mark Zuckerberg's reputation at Harvard was anything but ordinary. Known for pushing boundaries, he pulled off a controversial stunt with FaceMash, a site ranking students' looks. This wild idea landed him in hot water and nearly got him expelled. Even Priscilla Chan, the woman who would later become his wife, thought his antics might spell his downfall. When they first met, he joked about needing to go on a date with her quickly, predicting he'd be expelled any day. Yet their connection grew strong despite the rocky start. On their first date, his laid-back attitude shone through as he told Priscilla he'd rather spend time with her than complete his midterm. This unusual charm intrigued her, marking the start of a relationship that would endure countless challenges. By 2005, he decided to drop out of Harvard to focus fully on Facebook. He moved to Palo Alto, California, opening the first office for what would become a global phenomenon. Meanwhile, Priscilla stayed at Harvard, graduating in 2007, before moving to California to pursue medical school and be closer to him. Balancing their relationship wasn't easy, but they made it work. Priscilla set a rule: one date per week and at least 100 minutes of uninterrupted time together. Their dates were simple, yet meaningful, walking in the park, playing games like bocce, and trying new cuisines. Sundays often revolved around exploring Asian dishes, reflecting Priscilla's cultural roots. During some of Zuckerberg's most stressful career moments, such as when he turned down a $1 billion offer from Yahoo, Priscilla's support never wavered. In 2010, Priscilla moved into Zuckerberg's rented house in Palo Alto. The couple adopted a dog named Beast, who quickly became a beloved part of their lives. By March 2011, their relationship went Facebook official. Soon after, they purchased a 5-bedroom home in Palo Alto for a staggering $7 million, later expanding the property by buying neighboring lots. Their relationship, however, was far from all about wealth. They planned a surprise backyard wedding in 2012, disguised as a celebration of Priscilla's medical school graduation. It was an intimate, low-key affair with a honeymoon in Rome that included meals at McDonald's. As Zuckerberg's career skyrocketed, their life together remained grounded. In 2015, after years of heartbreak from 3 miscarriages, the couple welcomed their first daughter, Maxima. To celebrate her arrival, they launched the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, pledging 99% of their Facebook shares to causes like education and medical research. Their ambition grew, with a $3 billion commitment to fighting diseases within their daughter's lifetime. Education was also a priority, as they opened a nonprofit primary school and donated $75 million to a San Francisco hospital. The couple's family expanded again in 2017 with the birth of their second daughter, August. Zuckerberg's decision to take 2 months of paternity leave emphasized the value they placed on family time. Despite their immense wealth, they stayed rooted in meaningful traditions, dedicating 2 weeks each year to international travel. These trips often centered on connecting with Priscilla's heritage, with Zuckerberg even learning Mandarin to strengthen ties to her culture. Their real estate portfolio grew, reflecting their desire for serene retreats. In 2018, they acquired 2 Lake Tahoe estates for $59 million, boasting 600 feet of private waterfront. Amid their busy lives, they shared glimpses of family moments, like baking challah bread with their daughters. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck, they supported public health efforts through their initiative, creating a task force to enhance testing capabilities in the Bay Area. By 2023, their family welcomed a 3rd daughter, Aurelia, completing their home. Even as Zuckerberg's personal life flourished, his professional focus shifted to groundbreaking ventures. The metaverse, his ambitious virtual reality project, dominated tech discussions. Promising an immersive experience unlike anything seen before, the metaverse aimed to blur the lines between reality and digital life. Whether it will redefine how we connect or remain a lofty dream is a question only time can answer. But one thing's certain, the Zuckerberg-Chan story continues to intertwine personal milestones with transformative goals. The problems in their personal lives match the troubles in his work, where big dreams turned into challenges no one had planned for. Why the metaverse failed to deliver? The metaverse seemed like a wild dream at first. It was supposed to be this amazing new digital world where people could explore, connect, and build something totally new. The potential felt endless. Mark Zuckerberg himself painted a grand picture, rebranding Facebook into Meta in late 2021, signaling a shift to this bold new vision. Yet reality had other plans, and the so-called future of the internet quickly became a lesson in what happens when lofty promises meet cold, hard reality. Zuckerberg went all in on the metaverse, pushing aside critics who raised doubts about its viability. He made it sound like a revolution, a place where you could make eye contact and feel truly present with others, all through the power of virtual reality. However, the reality was far from this polished vision. The metaverse, as promised, turned out to be little more than a clunky, outdated digital experiment that struggled to deliver even basic engagement. Horizon Worlds, touted as the flagship platform, became a prime example of everything that went wrong. To even step foot into this digital realm, users needed an Oculus headset. These headsets were far from sleek. They were bulky, awkward, and uncomfortable for many. And once inside Horizon Worlds, the supposed gateway to this grand digital universe, felt like stepping back in time to early 2000s video game graphics. Instead of being blown away, users were greeted with low-quality visuals, glitches, and a noticeable lack of content. It was a far cry from the immersive, seamless experience Meta had promised. At its peak, Horizon Worlds claimed around 300,000 monthly users. This might sound like a lot until you remember that platforms like Facebook and Instagram boast billions of active users. Compared to those numbers, the metaverse's audience looked tiny, and even those who logged in often complained about the lack of things to do. Virtual spaces were mostly empty, leaving users wandering through deserted digital landscapes. And when they did find others, they were often children, not the diverse community of adults Zuckerberg envisioned. The problems didn't stop at clunky tech and empty rooms. The metaverse itself suffered from an identity crisis. What exactly was it supposed to be? Zuckerberg's pitch was vague, and while he called it the next iteration of the internet, there was little clarity on what that meant. People couldn't figure out why they should bother with it when the real world, or even traditional online spaces, offered more fulfilling experiences. Without a clear purpose or target audience, the metaverse struggled to justify its existence. This wasn't even a new idea. Decades ago, games like Ultima Online and EverQuest played with similar concepts of virtual worlds and avatars. These games had mixed success, but they at least had clear objectives. The metaverse, by contrast, seemed to borrow these old ideas without offering anything fresh or revolutionary. Instead of being the successor to the mobile internet, as Zuckerberg boldly claimed, it felt more like a clunky version of what had already been done before. Investors and businesses initially bought into the hype, eager to ride the next big thing. Companies like Walmart and Disney jumped on board, touting their own plans to stake a claim in the metaverse. Wall Street buzzed with speculation, driving up projections of what this digital world could become. But as the months went by, the cracks began to show. Meta's virtual reality division, Reality Labs, became a money pit. By 2023, it had burned through a staggering $21 billion, with little to show for it. Zuckerberg repeatedly assured investors that the company was committed for the long haul, but even he couldn't ignore the glaring issues. The tech just wasn't ready, and more importantly, people weren't interested. While some were willing to test out virtual reality, the novelty quickly wore off. The idea of spending hours in a headset, interacting with low-res avatars in half-empty spaces, didn't appeal to most. And as the losses piled up, faith in the metaverse dwindled. Then came the rise of generative AI. Companies like OpenAI captured the tech industry's attention with tools that had immediate, practical uses. Investors began shifting their focus to AI, a trend that felt more tangible and promising than the metaverse ever did. Meta tried to pivot, adding mobile and desktop compatibility to Horizon Worlds, and rolling out new versions of its VR headsets like the Quest 3. But by then, it was clear the metaverse had lost its moment. The metaverse's failure wasn't just about clunky tech or unmet promises. It was a symptom of larger issues. Zuckerberg's vision was too vague, too ambitious, and too disconnected from what people actually wanted. Instead of creating a world where people could live, work, and play, Meta built a platform that felt hollow and directionless. Even with billions poured into development, the metaverse never came close to achieving the mainstream success Zuckerberg had envisioned. Each failed idea shows how their need to stay on top sometimes leads to more problems than success. Facebook's biggest product failures. Facebook, now Meta Platforms, has had its fair share of failures when it comes to launching new products. Over the years, they've tried to expand beyond their social media roots, only to stumble repeatedly. While the metaverse has taken a lot of heat, let's not forget some of the other ventures that didn't quite make the cut. From intrusive tools to underwhelming gadgets, Facebook's track record includes a string of attempts that often left users scratching their heads, or downright furious. Take Facebook Beacon, for instance. This feature launched back in 2007 and promised to revolutionize how people shared their online activity. The concept was simple. If you made a purchase or interacted with certain external websites, Beacon would automatically share those activities with your Facebook friends. Sounds convenient, right? Not really. People quickly realized their private actions were being broadcast without proper consent. Imagine buying a surprise gift online, only for it to pop up on your profile for everyone to see. The backlash was swift and relentless, forcing Facebook to shut Beacon down by 2009. Lesson learned? Maybe, but it wouldn't be the last time Facebook faced criticism over privacy. Fast forward to 2013, and Facebook decided to dive into the smartphone market with the HTC First. This phone was designed around Facebook Home, an interface that replaced your standard Android home screen with, you guessed it, Facebook. While the idea might have sounded appealing to die-hard users, the execution was a disaster. Critics slammed the device's mediocre specs and the intrusive nature of Facebook Home, which made the phone feel more like a tool for Facebook's data collection than a user-friendly gadget. Within months, the phone's price dropped to virtually nothing, and it was quietly shelved soon after. Then there was M, Facebook's bold attempt to create a virtual assistant. Launched in 2015, M combined artificial intelligence with human helpers to manage tasks like making reservations or sending gifts. It was supposed to compete with Siri and Alexa, but ended up falling flat. The hybrid approach was a logistical nightmare. Scaling the service to millions of users proved impossible. Plus, the AI wasn't advanced enough to handle complex tasks without human intervention. By 2018, M was scrapped, marking yet another tech misstep for the company. Facebook's hardware ambitions didn't fare much better. Remember the Portal? This smart display launched in 2018 and was meant to revolutionize video calling. While its audio and video quality were praised, the idea of putting a Facebook-connected camera in your living room didn't sit well with many. Given Facebook's shaky history with user data, people weren't exactly eager to invite more surveillance into their homes. Sales were underwhelming, and by 2022, Meta pivoted the Portal lineup to focus solely on businesses. Lasso was another flop in Facebook's long list of attempts to stay relevant. Introduced in 2018, this app aimed to take on TikTok by letting users create short, music-backed videos. But with no standout features to set it apart from TikTok and a late arrival to the trend, Lasso never gained traction. By 2020, Facebook pulled the plug, opting to roll similar features into Instagram instead. That's how Instagram Reels was born, essentially taking Lasso's concept and giving it a second chance under a more popular platform. One of Facebook's most ambitious failures was Libra, a cryptocurrency announced in 2019. The idea was to create a global digital currency for easy, low-cost international payments. However, regulators around the world were immediately skeptical. Concerns over financial stability, privacy, and potential misuse for illegal activities led to intense scrutiny. As key partners backed out, Facebook tried rebranding the project as Diem, but it wasn't enough to salvage it. By 2022, Libra, or Diem, was officially dead. Even simpler features like Nearby Friends couldn't escape Facebook's curse of underwhelming ideas. This tool let users share their real-time location with friends, supposedly making it easier to meet up. Instead, it raised a host of privacy concerns and never saw widespread adoption. Facebook quietly discontinued it in 2022, citing low usage as the main reason. However, one can't help but wonder if people just didn't trust the platform with such sensitive data. The podcasting venture was another misstep. In 2021, Facebook launched a podcast service to compete with established players like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But let's face it, Facebook isn't exactly where people go for audio content. With a crowded market and no real innovation, the service struggled to gain traction. Less than a year later, Facebook abandoned the idea entirely, yet another casualty of poor planning. Even in the realm of augmented reality, Facebook couldn't catch a break. Meta Spark, an AR tool for creators to make custom effects for Facebook and Instagram, seemed promising at first, but despite growing interest in AR technology, Meta Spark failed to attract a large enough audience. By 2024, Meta announced it would shut down the platform, signaling a shift in focus for its AR ambitions. Is Mark Zuckerberg's marriage trouble just a bump in the road, or does it reveal deeper cracks that no one expected? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.